Wednesday edition of Kelly and Company. It's not even Friday the 13th yet, but we are having some fun. Nisreen Abdelmajid and Ramia Amadin today. Canada is full of fantastic artists and a variety of genres, and Amy Amantea, our arts and culture contributor, is going to tell us where to purchase the perfect ticket. That's how we're starting off the show. Then we're talking to blind gamer Markus McCracken. He has a final word on accessible gaming for blind and low vision gamers, video gamers that is, and an update to his own video game pitch. It's called Silent Evidence. Plus, I don't know if you've heard, but Midweek is the new weekend, and Mary Mammoliti is going to tell us why that's happening, why Wednesday is having a moment, and how we should take part. Let's get started.
This is Kelly and Company.
Nazi, are you a fan of Friday the 13th?
No, not really. No.
Are you an anti-fan?
I'm not like a superstitious person very much, but at the same time, I'm not a fan of it. I don't like to think of. I don't like to plan things. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
How about you?
Well, with Friday the 13th, you don't have to plan anything. It will plan you. That's a thing.
That's scary. The way you put that is scary.
I'm trying to get in your head so that tomorrow you're just like looking for the signs. You know what I mean? It's going to be fun. Yes. Yeah. I don't know. Weird things have always happened to me around Friday the 13th. Sometimes like unplanned, other times where, you know, you're doing things that you're supposed to. Like my friend and I go out on what was supposed to be an adventure. We just end up in random places around Toronto. And then like exploring spots we've never been before. Felt like Friday the 13th vibes.
What type of weird things are you talking about?
I don't know. It's just more of an energy, Nisreen. It's an energy. You'll feel it tomorrow.
It's an energy?
Yeah.
I don't want to feel it.
It's just,
I do not want to feel this.
It's just that there's something in the air, you know, certain. Anyways, it's because I've hyped it up. That's honestly what it is.
I'll say
over the years.
I don't have to feel the energy.
Yeah, but energy's in your home too.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Okay. Moving on. I'm just talking the energy and the negative energy that you're giving.
It doesn't have to be negative, by the way. Friday the 13th can be lucky. Like 13 can be a lucky number.
I've never heard of it being lucky though.
I know, but that's because it's so taboo. That's taboo. Yeah. But I'm just talking smack because we've had tech issues. Well, I've had tech issues, sorry. And I'm thinking, like, what is going on? This is so random. All week it's been fine. And then today, poof, you know. So I'm like, it must be a prequel to Friday the 13th.
Okay, so tomorrow, for sure, your computer's not going to work. If today you had tech issues. Tomorrow you're not. It's okay.
Luke is getting into the spirit. Yeah, exactly.
Off tomorrow. There you go. Good luck with that.
This is all pre-planned. Yeah.
So it makes people laugh, cry, or think in an unexpected way. This is the grab of must-see arts and culture, and Amy Amantea, arts and culture contributor, is drawing back the curtain on a few things that she believes are the perfect ticket. Amy, what makes something a must-see performance or experience in the world of arts and culture?
Well, first of all, not seeing it on Friday the 13th makes it a perfect arts and culture.
That's what I'm saying.
Unless you're going to go see Phantom of the Opera, you know, when the chandelier falls and all that kind of stuff.
Or the Illuminato edition of Hamlet that we plugged yesterday.
Or the play that goes wrong, or all of those ones are good choices.
There you go.
There you go.
You guys are going alone. Don't invite me. I'm busy.
She's not leaving the house anymore.
You're washing your hair. Yeah, that's right. She's not leaving the house anymore.
I don't need to feel this energy that you're talking about.
It's a lax day for Nazi, you know. Okay.
Yeah.
I would say that what makes something a must see, whether it's a concert or a theater performance or whatever it is, has to do with what we were just talking about, the vibes, right? It has to do with, you know, are people leaving the space feeling buzzed about it? Are they are people waiting in line? Is it something they haven't witnessed before? Is it something that is getting people excited? you know when you get that buzz about something that's coming to town, or when it's something that's coming and you're like, I'll catch it next time. So there are just some things that are so unique, or like opportunities that just may not come around again, and that makes it kind of a must see. Or people that are doing things that are so unique and unusual in the arts world that you just have to take that opportunity to check it out.
Okay, and so you're going to give us some examples.
Yeah,
I thought so, because there's a couple of these things that I'm going to check out. If I had unlimited funds, I would fly over Canada and check out all the things on my must-see list. But a couple of these are fairly local to me. One of them, not even close. So the first one is Colin Mochrie. Do you know who Colin Mochrie is?
Tell us. You were hyped about this one. This was
You don't know who Colin Mochrie is?
Oh, no, I'm ashamed.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Colin Mochrie is like famous Canadian comedian. He's a master improviser. He is doing an exclusive performance at the Arts Club Stanley Theatre, which happens to be the theatre that I work for here in Vancouver, which is why I know about this. It's going to be a fundraiser. So he started his career with like Second City, and this hour has 22 minutes. And Second City, of course, is kind of our version of the Canadian version of Saturday Night Live. That's Toronto's Second City. And he had has a famous show called This Hour Has, Whose Line Is It Anyways? Which was one of the most hilarious shows. It was hosted by Drew Carey. Anyways, it's hilarious. So if you ever have a chance to Google This Hour, Whose Line Is It Anyways? You'll find episodes on YouTube. Now, they're not described, so they're a little bit hard to follow sometimes, but it's all improv. It's all improv. So they would give you like a box of props, and they would say, okay, take these props, and like you have to create a character out of it. So these four men, sometimes women, but they were mostly these four men, would come out and do like the most outrageous thing with these box of props. And Colin Mochrie and Ryan Stiles were the two that were like had like a bromance on stage, and they couldn't be more different looking from each other, and they were just hilarious together. So anyways, I'm looking forward to seeing Colin Mochrie on stage. I'm going to get my tickets because they are on sale now for August 8th and 9th, 2 days only. But they start at $40, and that is like super affordable.
Amazing.
Right? It's super affordable. And the Stanley is going to give further discounts for folks with financial barriers and people with disabilities. So like you can't get a cheaper ticket price for something that is like really exclusive. So I'm super excited about that. So I thought I'd let people know early because tickets are not going to last that long.
Have you gone to a lot of stand-up, Amy? I'm having like a stand-up year. I'm loving it.
Are you?
Comedy in person live is amazing. So fun.
Yeah, and stand-up is, I just did the Revolver Festival here in Vancouver, so there was a lot of stand-up, and a lot of stand-up by equity-seeking artists, underrepresented artists, a lot of trans folks doing stand-up, and I just saw a show called A Life in Transition by somebody who transitioned, who was a father with like small children, who transitioned in his mid-30s and is now 40 years old. So is telling this story of, his transition into a woman, and like works in a very bros industry as a contractor, right? But it like now goes to work like very feminine, is very, very feminine, beautiful looking woman, or well, she is a beautiful woman, and has this great story to tell in stand up, and it's so much fun. So yes, I am with you on the stand up. It's pretty darn accessible, and who couldn't use a laugh these days, honestly?
Yeah, for real. Yeah. On a complete side note, though, I'm also loving all the audio description we're getting with stand-up comedy specials on Netflix. I'm not sure if other platforms are doing it, but shout out to Netflix for literally describing every stand-up that's pretty much available. On the platform now.
Well, all of the Netflix specials for sure, because that's part of their mandate to describe their own content, right? And sometimes it's those.
That's what's described.
Those little nuances.
Exactly. Facial expressions.
But
random. How long are they taking a swig of their water and why? Like, it's just
Yeah.
it's great. The
Yeah.
subtleties.
Yeah. Sometimes it's all about the nuance in the body language that
Mhm.
makes a big difference. Yeah, absolutely.
You have
Cool.
another example for us?
Oh, of course I do. You know me. I
I
bring
know.
tons of them. So
I know.
this one goes all the way out to New Brunswick, which is a place on my bucket list, but I don't think I'll get there this year. Although you never know. Jeremy Dutcher. I've been a fan of Jeremy Dutcher for a while. Jeremy Dutcher has a rich, very rich voice. He's a cultural legacy. He's a classically trained tenor. He's two-spirit, and he's from the let me see if I can pronounce this correctly. Willostowiak First Nations in New Brunswick. And he's a song carrier. So he mixes traditional songs with Western classical style, style music. And he is mixing these two things together. He's an award-winning musician. He's the winner of both the 2018 and 2024 Pulitzer Prize winner. He's a Juno Award for Indigenous Music Album of the Year. Like this person is renowned. I don't know. Do we have a sound clip of this person? I don't know if we do or not, but he's got a really unique blend of bringing in this like classical sound with traditional indigenous music, and of course lyrics from the storytelling, because he's a story carrier from his traditional ancestry in his language. So it's really beautiful to listen to. It's emotional. It's powerful, and he is going to be doing some of this. He's doing some traveling across Canada, but he's going to be doing some of this with the Toronto Symphony Orchestra. So if you have a chance to see him in Toronto, June 21st, not that far away, and July 12th. So June 21st and July 12th, he'll be in Toronto and in Wellington, Ontario. So if you want to check out Jeremy Dutcher, highly recommend that. Yeah.
Okay, this is great. I'm definitely intrigued by the roots of his cultural upbringings and his indigenous community, along with the Western classical that he's mixing. These kind of fusion artists always intrigue me, even with my own. Like, I know a lot of Carnatic, which is East Indian classical music, musicians and artists who then delve into the Western or even the jazz. There's a lot of stuff like that going on lately, which is Justin Gray recently released an album which I thought was fantastic to kind of fuse all these elements in, and it's gorgeous. It's world music.
Yeah. And his Jeremy's flair for Jeremy's performance flair for the music videos is absolutely fantastic, because Jeremy is two-spirit. There's often this very presentational style. It's really like colorful, beautiful to look at, brings in other indigenous artists, again, and mixes that with a very Western culture. So I really enjoyed sort of digging into some of the music videos that Jeremy has on their YouTube channel as well. So, if you can't get to see Jeremy in person and you want to listen to some of their music, Jeremy Dutcher, Dutcher.
Okay, lovely. Thank you. And then you have the last one, which I got to check out, which is
awesome.
One of my favorite experiences of life.
Right. Okay. So you're with me on this one. Come From Away. Come From Away is a classic Canadian play. It has toured across Canada. It will continue to tour across Canada. It is touring at the moment across Canada. I've seen it. It's coming back to Vancouver. So Come From Away is a heartwarming and powerful Canadian musical based on the true story of what happened in the small town of Gander, Newfoundland in the aftermath of 9/11. So I don't know if folks remember this, but it's kind of you either know the story or you don't know the story of how the folks in Gander, Newfoundland had the airplanes rerouted to Gander after 9/11 happened. And planes weren't landing in New York, right? Or in other airports for that matter. And the folks of Gander, Newfoundland took in a whole bunch of folks and took care of them like they were family. So it's a beautiful story. The music is wonderful. It hits home. It's lovely to hear Newfie accents on stage, whether they're good or bad, but still, it feels very Canadiana. So I would check this one out if it comes to your neighborhood. So I do have a couple of dates for 2025 and 26, because sometimes you got to plan these out in advance. So if you're anywhere near Gander, the Smallwood Arts and Cultural Center, June 29th to August 31st of this year, you can get tickets there. If you're in London, Ontario, the Grand Theatre is going to have it May 1st to 24th in 2026. And if you're coming to the Vancouver area or live here, May 28th to July 26th, 2026. So plan ahead, book a flight, grab some friends, get some tickets. Come From Away is one that you don't want to miss. And especially now that we are so, I don't want to say especially now, because we've always been Canada proud, but I think now more than ever, this is really a play that you want to support. All of these artists are Canadian artists, but Come From Away, I think, is something that's really special to support. So get out there, get the hottest ticket in town, and support Canadiana.
It became an instant classic, I think. Yeah, as soon as it should have. As soon as the curtain opened, it was like, everybody was talking about, did you go to see Come From Away? It's beautiful.
Yeah,
it really is. So it's coming to Vancouver for its second time, and I have my tickets already. So, just because I've seen it before doesn't mean I'm not going to see it again.
Oh, yeah.
That's so exciting. Yeah. Thank you so much, Amy.
Thanks, friends. Go get a ticket.
Okay.
Always with the great info. Sparking conversation is yet one more way in which a show is a must-see. Thank you, Amy. Your arts and culture segments are always a must-see on Kelly and Company. Awesome.
Yep, they definitely are. And she's got one more chat with us in a couple of weeks. But today we have one last chat with blind gamer Markus McCracken on the show. And this is his Kelly and Company chat. You can check him out on YouTube and other platforms for gaming highlights at your leisure anytime. But with our last segment, Markus, the last time you were here in May, you teased us with a project that you are currently working on. It's called Silent Evidence. Any updates on that? We had a lot of fun, imagining how you were going to go through with the game.
Absolutely. I hope you guys are doing well this morning or this afternoon.
Thank you.
So Silent Evidence, without spoiling, because I added 2 more parts to it, but I'm not going to give one part away.
Oh, nice.
There's a lot of games, some of us gamers know, there's open world, but there's a lot of side missions, way too much, depending on the title you're playing. So I thought I'm going to add just a few, but with every scenario you do in the side mission is going to interfere or interrupt with whatever your main story objective is. So if you go to a house for a call, if you're a police officer, and depending on your outcome in that scenario is going to determine what happens in part of your story moving forward.
Okay.
And
can you step back a little? Just for anyone who didn't listen to last time, we should have started with this, a primer on what Silent Evidence is. What exactly is it as a pitch?
So it's going to be a story-driven crime solving, either from a police officer making your way up in the ranks, or even a lawyer. It's the same motivations, moving your way up. The kicker is you'll have the ability to create your character right from scratch. So if you have a disability, you'll have that option to add whichever disability you may have. There'll be use of wheelchairs, your canes, guide dogs. I'm hoping to have every aspect of the accessibility implemented into the game at startup.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so and then there's representation of the accessibility as well, and disability, depending on who.
That is my goal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Sorry, Niz.
No, I was going to say.
Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
The one more part that I did add. So near the end, while that you're going to think is the end, you'll be heading back to your hometown, and depending if you're on a subway or a train or whatever, you will be greeted by an individual who's just going to drop an envelope in front of you, and what's in that content is what will make your moving forward for playability wise determine what you're going to do next. So you can either continue your career or come back as a villain and seek retribution.
Awesome. And did you add anything to our last? Yeah. Did you add anything else to since our last chat about the game?
Those were just the last two key features. I did a lot more reading. Yeah, I did a lot more reading on it and realized there's a lot there that I'm hoping that can be hopefully picked up by a developer. So I just wanted to add a couple more things, and I want to make sure it's replayable. I don't want everybody to get bored of it, because a lot of games can get very boring real quick.
This is something that people who pitch games really have to think about, right? The replayability, because we talk about it often. Nazi, you play more video games than I do, but Mike Fear, for example, like he comes on and he really hones in on the replayability of games, because it's kind of cool to have short games as well, like games that don't take as much long to go through, story mode and other things. But then you want to know if there's like, how many more times can you do this? And is it going to feel much different, or can you like kind of veer from the choices you made the first time? I guess a lot of people are thinking about the cost of video games as well, and thinking like one and done just doesn't seem right. Or is that just
what's going to draw people back in?
Yeah,
that's the cost it's honestly is ridiculous. But if you're able to get one that's replayable, not just online, and I say that because Grand Theft Auto does that tremendously. They continue adding for online play, but personally, I'm not going to spend like $100 just to play online. So if I can get it out there and the developers like the idea, and we can keep just adding on different add-ons, the playability it's a possibility if it's done from a gamer's perspective. If it's done correctly, it's a possibility.
Yeah.
Awesome. So moving forward, do you have recaps or words for our listeners when it comes to accessible gaming?
Honestly, and I keep saying it all the time, even just in general, when it comes to accessible gaming and technology as a whole, it's not just up to the developers. They can do so much, but really we all have different disabilities, and we are the ones who know what works and what does not work. So we all have to mend together and work as a team to teach each other, plus the developers of these different great gaming and technology devices that we sometimes love.
Yeah. And I can say that gaming has come a long way in terms of accessibility, but there's still so much work to do. What kind of examples would you like to see happen in the future?
For gaming wise?
Yeah.
I would like to see a lot more AAA games. So like a game, when I say AAA, so something like Spider-Man or The Last of Us, I would like to see more developers take that role, because Last of Us, especially the remaster, did a tremendous job implementing a lot more into it with the remaster of the first one. So if we can get more AAAs like that, I think the gaming world's going to be on fire in the future.
Do you feel like you're happy or satisfied with where things are right now with accessibility in video gaming for blind people?
I'm half and half. I think it can still has a lot of work, but at the same time, like I said, it takes two to make things happen, or a team. So I'm literally sitting at 50-50, because I can play a game and it could be perfect, and then I can play another game like my Forza Horizon, for instance. I still love that game, but the map is not readable for the screen reader. So you literally have to memorize where things are.
Oh, yeah.
So things like that, there's room for improvement, of course, like with everything. So I think we will get there. It just depends on who's working on it and how much time they want to take on it as well.
Yeah, like that needs to change. This is an example of something that I would just play once and then I would get bored, because I I don't like to put so much effort in making it so, like trying to figure it out myself. I lose patience immediately. but yeah, that's an example of like that should have been fixed. That should have been done right. So yeah.
Do you guys like feel as frustrated? Like I find that there's less to be frustrated about, right? When you pick up I don't know, a piece of technology, right? Your phone, your computer, whatever, and know that there is a decent amount of accessibility built in. So there's a decent amount of independency still, or like now. But do you feel frustrated with video gaming as like, ugh, I'm not where I want to be, or there's certain aspects of it like multiplayer gaming that should be further along?
I think if you would have asked me that a few years ago when I really thought I wasn't going to play anymore, I probably would have said yes. But as a gamer since I was young, and I'm slowly getting back into some games. I used to play a lot of sports games, but that just doesn't happen anymore. So I'm getting into games I would never actually purchased or rented. I think I'm having fun with that. So I'm not really frustrated to that point, but I also have, like, my wife will play with me as well. So I've got that option as well. But it might be different if I didn't have that companionship to play along with.
That's true.
For online play though,
depending on your disability too, right?
Yeah, for online play though, I tend to stay away from the online play. I'd rather just play and enjoy the title, not worry about what I'm doing around other people.
I can definitely relate to that because before I found so much accessibility in gaming, it was so frustrating and I would give up on so many games. But after I learned so much about accessible gaming, it became okay. I understand it more. It made sense to me, and it was addictive again. But yeah, I feel like the companionship. I think having somebody to play with is so much better. It's less frustrating.
Yeah.
Even though I have to stand right in front of the TV and my husband is chilling on the couch while he's gaming is a very different scene. But that's it.
It is a different scene, but at least you don't feel, because when I was a kid and people would be video gaming around us, I'd have to make excuses why not to, right? Because you're not always around people who are comfortable to understand, or that you're just gonna, it's like watching movies with people without audio description. Like a lot of the times you're just picking up whatever and hopefully keeping tabs. And it used to be so awkward me watching movies with kids, like other kids, because they don't know what I can and can't see. If I don't have my brother or a best friend sitting with me telling me when they know that I missed something, or they could just see in my face maybe, then you're just kind of awkwardly sitting there trying to be part of this social situation, right? It's so different now because we can actually be part of these social situations for the most part, or at least more than before.
And it also depends on the people that you hang out with. I understand. Like when I play cards with certain people, I can't really, I would kind of be left out of that situation because I wouldn't express that, oh, I have difficulty seeing these cards. Exactly. It depends on who it is and your environment, for sure.
Do you ever casually suggest that it's going to be a group game? Like, oh, we'll play in teams of 2. That's what I used to do.
Yeah. I'll just,
they're like, you want to play goldfish in teams of 2?
That's distinguished person, yeah. Yeah, it's so true.
Oh man, yeah. Or it just suggests group games where it has to be paired up, like Signal or something, because you're like, you don't have Braille cards. How are we going to do this? But yeah, Marcus, you'd mentioned not gaming online because that's still not something that feels super accessible or doable for blind and low vision video gamers. That's, I guess, an aspect of it, of limitation.
Yeah, even when my vision was decent, I tried to stay away from the online. So like Call of Duty, for instance, it's so fast paced. My vision was never that quick. So sure, I would jump in and I would literally just run around the map shooting, hoping for the best. So
it's relatable.
And I still do that.
I was gonna say. That's a button mashing is like still pretty much my idea of
I
video game.
still do that.
What is strategy?
And it works. Low key.
Mhm.
Low key, it
Yeah.
works.
Why not? Well, Marcus, it's been so fun with you. I'm really looking forward to more updates on Silent Evidence as well, because I'm sure that like it'll go somewhere, even if it's kind of like fan fiction where you put it out there and get people in on the concept and see how it rolls. But where do you want to go with it?
Right now, to be honest with you, all the writing that I'm doing besides that, if I can even just get it out and into the right eyes, I'm happy. If someone reaches out to me and says, let's do this, then I'll be extremely happy. But once I have the finalized draft up, and I'll start pitching it out there, and some of my networks I know will get it to where it should go to a point. So I'm just, if I get one person to look at it, I'll be happy with that even. At least the concept will be out there.
Exactly.
And I know this is our last episode with you, but we still want to hear an update on how the game is going, and we want to know like what's happening, what's going on next for that game. So please keep us updated.
Absolutely. You can always find me on Facebook to get back into the game, or YouTube. And I believe everybody has my email, so just feel free to reach out.
We will. And I think coming back as a villain is a nice twist. I love that.
I think that'll be really fun.
I think so. Most of us want to be the villain to begin with, right? Like the villain always has like the cool, I don't know, maybe it's just me. Never mind.
It's just
sorry.
It makes sense.
Me being vulnerable again.
I'm connecting the dots now with Friday the 13th.
The 13th and the villainous desires. Marcus, is probably best you leave now.
Yes.
Take care, Marcus. We'll be in touch.
Take care.
Markus McCracken is a blind video gamer, and he's been joining us monthly on Kelly and Company for a while now. And it's been great with him talking accessible gaming. He's kept us posted on a lot of new creations and developments in the video gaming world. We've also talked to other people he's brought on. So go back into the Kelly and Company archives, because there's a lot of video gaming information and insight there for you. And like you said, like he said, get back into the game. That's what his YouTube channel is called, that you can find online.
Exciting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
More and more Canadians are making Wednesday their go-to night to dine out. Culinary expert Mary Mammoliti joins us with what's fueling this trend and how you can take advantage. So, Mary, what's going on here? Midweek.
Did we know about this? Did you know about this?
Sanity.
I never heard of this, and I'm like, I need more information, because this is not me. And it's part of me, I feel like it makes sense, because I'd like to take the weekend off from
right.
I want to take a chill day, just like me, my husband, and that's it. That's our weekend.
We're trying to split our weekends. Like we're trying to get more weekends out of our weekends.
I make plans during the weekday, so that, because it's draining, it's a lot of work. So I feel like it makes sense, but what's driving the midweek dining buzz? Tell us about that.
Okay, so now let me just start with that Wednesdays have now become the new Fridays for many diners. And there's there are so many reasons for it. But I want to read you something from Open Table, because I found this really interesting. So Open Table reports a 16% year-over-year increase in midweek dining, with Wednesdays showing the biggest growth amongst all weekdays in seated diners. So they're attributing this boost. They're attributing it to, they believe, is a result of hybrid work and targeted midweek offerings. What I believe is that Wednesdays offer, honestly, they offer a break from the week's grind, which is what we were just talking about, right? People want something to look forward to that isn't tied to the weekend, right? Restaurants, they're less crowded on Wednesdays. The vibe is more relaxed. It's not that high energy. It's not overcrowded. And the staff can actually pay a little more attention to you because they don't have that overcrowded, right? And even it's a great night to grab a good meal, in my opinion, without fighting for, if you live downtown, parking spots on your drive, or even reservations. is always difficult on the weekend. So Wednesdays kind of gives you that little bit of reprieve there.
Okay, so can I tell you guys something? We've been casually, my friends and I have been casually doing this, but not Wednesdays. We want to avoid the Friday dinner rush and lack of reservation opportunity and all that stuff. So we do Thursdays. Wednesdays still feel way too early for me. Thursdays feel like close enough to the weekend that I'm not like in weekend vibe on a Wednesday, because I feel like that would screw me up so much to go out and have a proper.
Thursdays are still so crazy. Everybody's
on Wednesdays.
Maybe because so I'm like one step behind with the other people then, thinking Thursdays are good. But you guys, early adapters,
right? Everyone's catching on to Thursdays.
Yes, yes, I think so.
Friday. Yeah, because if you'll notice,
when it's going to be Tuesday,
right?
We all get on to the Wednesday.
Actually, we went to a restaurant on Monday and it was insane. I was shocked.
See?
It felt like
forget a work week,
Monday
guys.
night, I was like, don't you guys have work? But anyway.
Well, that's the thing. Know what it's a lot of that hybrid working.
Exactly, because the hybrid working, what it actually gives us is the lack of commuting, right? So we don't have to commute day in, day out anymore, and you're less exhausted. So getting out on a Wednesday for a dinner doesn't feel like too much work.
Yeah.
Because before you'd be like, you're gonna save all that stuff for the weekend, but now,
now it's like midweek is creeping up.
Yeah. Okay, I'm feeling it. I don't know if I can convince myself for the Wednesday over the Thursday though, but let's see. So are restaurants leaning into this, Mary, with special offers and all that stuff? Have they caught on?
And they are absolutely right. So you'll notice themes like on Wednesday. So what they're putting are these really cool little themes to it those nights. So something like Wine Wednesdays, Hump Day Happy Hour, right? Or even prefixed menus that are designed specifically for Wednesdays that are popping up all over the place. It's kind of to gain that traffic, because these promotions, they're trying to bring people in on days that are usually slower in restaurants, right? To me, it's a smart way to try a new spot. Right. And then this way, you don't have to splurge on that weekend tag, that weekend price tag. We all know it. The weekends come and the dinner, for some reason, the menu seems like it's just increased slightly, even if it's 50 or 75, whatever the case is. You get these promos on the Wednesday, which actually save you money, but you get to try these places.
The Japanese all-you-can-eat spots. Like when you look at the discrepancies between lunch and dinner menus, and then look at dinner menus from weekdays to weekends, it's shocking sometimes the price differences. And I'm like, okay, I'm not paying $20 more because I want to do a Saturday night dinner. It's wild.
And that's why a lot of people are leaning into this Wednesday.
And why is Wednesday a great night to catch up with friends and family?
Well, a lot of what we talked about.
Are they less annoying?
Is it less draining?
If only. The good thing is, I mean, everyone's usually free on a Wednesday, right? And you're not wiped out, because Fridays, I don't know about the two of you, but I'm wiped out on Fridays. Fridays, I'm a write-off. I was like, if you want to come over, sure. If I'm have to go out and get myself actually presentable, it's not happening.
No.
Hard pass.
Without someone, lighting a stick of dynamite under me, right? And then, right? And you're not competing with those weekend plans. So it's easier to get together with friends and family, because everyone on the weekend is so busy. We're always trying to cram in everything into 2 days. So you're not competing with any of that when you're saying, hey, let's do something on a Wednesday. And we could actually show up for it because we don't have plans for it. And sometimes it's always that midweek that you want a little bit of a pick-me-up. Maybe turn it into like a tradition. Do it like a taco night on a Wednesday, or a pasta night, right? Something where it becomes this little, something where it becomes that. Well, then we're staying home. But
then we're staying home. Mary's fine with that too.
I'm always fine with having people over. But if you want to kind of get out and try to get yourself out and try these new places, honestly, try it on a Wednesday. Because, and again, put a little theme to it yourself. Like I said, taco night, pasta night, something night. It'll get you out.
Did that become your favorite day out of the week to hang out with your friends and family?
For me?
Yeah.
Oh, you're asking me personally. Okay, well, this is interesting because this is a segment that I'm doing is on Wednesdays. I don't mind
Be
a Wednesday get
truthful
together.
here.
Yeah, I really
People
don't
are
mind a
listening.
Wednesday get together. But to say that I could do it every single Wednesday, I probably couldn't. Not gonna lie. Would I love to get together with people on Wednesdays? Absolutely. I'm always up to get together, except for Mondays. I'm not gonna lie. Mondays are really
No.
bad for me.
Yeah.
I'm not a
Yeah.
I'm not in a good space on
You're
Mondays
still
to go for
processing
dinner
what
and all that.
happened on the weekend. You're processing what's going to come up during the week.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Yeah.
Mondays
Yeah.
are different because, especially if you've had a very long or tiring packed weekend, then obviously Mondays are meant for that extra just wind down and then wind up for the week again. But Wednesdays are starting to sound very appealing, Mary. I'm not going to lie. Especially when you said like restaurants are getting on board because it's their low key day of the week too, right? Like they're trying to get more business going. I'm thinking in Toronto, and especially you mentioned downtown. I'm like, yeah, all the places that I want to try, but I genuinely avoid going because it's weekend rush, right? Like there's new restaurants opening up. I saw it on Instagram. I'm like, oh, I want to go check this out. But oh my God, it's so busy. I'm not trying to go there on a Friday, Saturday.
And I'm not waiting in line anywhere. No one wants to wait in line. I don't care who you are. No one wants to stand in line. So yeah, it's a great day.
Yeah, this opens up a different topic here because in a month or two, since it's buzzing, in a month or two, it's going to become like the weekend where
That's
you
what
can't
I
get
was
reservations.
saying.
So what happens next? We move it to a Tuesday.
You move to Tuesday.
We'll move to a Tuesday. We'll revisit it then in a month or two, and then we'll try and discover a new date
I love
to work this through. But until then, we can enjoy, the little bit of a rest and reprieve on the Wednesdays from the hustle and bustle of the weekend.
But I guess it doesn't have to be like you mentioned a few different themes you can try out. It doesn't have to be like, oh, try that hot spot and make it a big thing like you would make it on the weekend. It could just be a local diner.
Exactly.
You're going out on
that's a great example and a great point to bring up because it doesn't have to be a big thing. It could just be something that you've wanted to try or something that you wanted to incorporate into your week. Let's say you're not even big on going out to dine out, on the weekends because of all that hustle and bustle. This is a great day of the week to give it a shot. And like you said, visit that local taco shop in your area. There's always something new popping up and always something interesting around. And that would be a great day to give it a shot.
It makes sense too, because I'm sure I've complained about this a billion times already, but after the pandemic, after like things have kind of quieted down, I find it extraordinarily difficult to go into a Jack Astor's or other similar vibes where like the pubs are loud and music is loud and people are loud and I can't hear anyone around me, let alone my servers. I am so old, Niz. Like I'm telling you, it is so exhausting for me to go out to a restaurant. I'll do it. Like if it's your birthday.
I think that's a byproduct of the pandemic.
It is.
We were all used to that and experiencing a different way of connecting, a different way of eating, a different way of enjoying all this, that now when you're kind of thrown back into all of that, you're like, you know what? I kind of miss my space.
For real. For real. Like because we didn't go out during the pandemic. And even if we did, it was to, open areas or very quiet 2-3 people kind of things, right? So these big gatherings and loud spaces honestly feel so much more exhausting. And it's been a few years now and it still feels exhausting to me. So the Wednesday vibe.
And the Wednesday is also, it's a great way to support your local businesses because to be quite honest with you, there was, like we mentioned, the pandemic, there was that surge. Right. And as soon as the pandemic lockdown was done, we were all going out. We were going everywhere. Everyone was sitting on top of each other. It was all happening. Right. There was like it was madness. Everyone just wanted to get out there.
It's true.
So we were
patios, right? Yeah.
Everything was just jam packed with people. And you just wanted to be around people. You craved that. But now it's settled down. And even the industry, the restaurant industry and the food industry, it's slowed down. So they've noticed a drop in these diners from the pandemic, so pre-pandemic, post-pandemic, and now today. They're noticing that. And then add in now the cost of everything. So it's dropped even further. So businesses are trying different things to try and pick up a little bit of that business that they're missing.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, and do
So
it
the
in
Wednesday,
slower
yeah,
ways, I guess. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And that's why Wednesdays would be a great day for all of us who like that experience, but don't want the whole hustle and bustle of a crowded place.
I don't know,
Yeah.
Nazi, does it bother you? Like, you also DJ and go out in these extreme social areas or events.
It's so
Hold on, you
funny.
need
It's so funny.
no,
Oh yeah, I'm a
What?
DJ.
She's a killer DJ Nazi.
I DJ on the weekends, so when I say my weekends are chill, it's really not
Yeah.
chill.
Yeah.
really
But I'd rather it be chill. But yeah, it's so funny because when I'm out DJing, I can handle the loud music. I'm okay with it. This is my job. But when I'm
Right.
socializing and I'm at a restaurant, I complain so much about how loud the music is, how loud everybody is. I become such an old person. Other than DJing. So I don't know how that works, but it works.
I
Every
think
time
it's
I
because when it's
complain,
your
they're
music,
like,
you're down
"You're
with
a
it.
DJ. How are you complaining about this?"
Right.
Okay, we're gonna have to ask both of you because we've mentioned old person quite a bit.
Yeah.
Has the
Uh-oh.
time that you go out to dine changed? Are you going out earlier or later?
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? You know, when I remember the times when like 8 p.m. was a vibe. Now I'm like, guys, are you sure you can't make 5? People are like, I'm still working. I'm like, yeah, but just 5 is close enough to 6.
You're
Let's
getting
just
a
get there nice and
table. There's
early.
no waiting. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh. I've called
I
them
don't
3
know.
times to
I'd
make
kinda
sure that they
rather,
didn't give
like,
our
a little
reservation
later,
away.
personally.
Whatever.
I
Are
At
you still
6?
at 8 o'clock?
Mm-mm.
like, I think
Nazi.
8 o'clock is maybe 7:30.
7:30.
7:30.
That's I'm on
Around
dessert
7:30.
and I'm rushing people out the
7:30. I
door.
am popping
I
Pepto
don't
Bismol if
get
I go any
that
later.
hungry earlier. That's the problem. I need to be really hungry when I go to a restaurant, or
Okay,
else
I haven't
it's
had
just
to
not
like
worth it.
I haven't had to take the antacids or anything like that yet, but
Anything after 8, I am done. Throw me over your shoulder,
like,
pat my back, and burp me because I am done at that point.
you're either not gonna fall asleep
Okay,
or
what time do you
not be able
clock
to
out
wake up.
for sure? 9?
Like, when are you home? 9?
When
Yeah.
am I home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
8?
Frank and I. Frank's quick. He eats really quickly. I slow him down, so at least we're there for about an hour. And that's
So
that's
as soon
with
as you
Bill
finish
eating
eating, you're
dessert.
dipping. You don't stay and socialize.
No. Unless
I love how
we
an
have friends
hour
with
is
us.
an hour is a lengthy time for you. You're like, oh, come on, let's push it to an hour. Frank.
No, if there are other people, Frank and I can talk. We talk all day, all night.
Yep,
So
yep.
we just eat, we do our business, get out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what the funny part is? The one big sign for me is it used to be like we just casually peruse through the menu. Nobody's checked it out before we got there. And then we're ordering a starter for the table. And then we're chilling. And then we're like, oh, you want to do this? You want to do that? Now it's like the server will come and we're like, hey, we know what we want to drink, eat, and what's for dessert. You can take away all the menus.
So true.
It's true.
That is so
We're ready to
true.
order. It's so, and if
Yeah.
you're that one person that hasn't really looked over the menu,
No.
which sometimes is me, most of the time it's
Yeah.
me, that hasn't, you see, both of you would leave me right there.
Yeah.
Bothers me.
But I'm that person. I'm like, oh, can I get another 5 minutes? And Frank's like, seriously?
No, come on.
I'm
Why
sorry.
did you do
I'm
it?
that person that would say seriously because
Yeah.
I just hate waiting like that.
You had all day
And the
Tuesday to
problem
look at the
is-
menu. Where are you at?
The problem is it's hard to get the
Tuesday.
waiter back to the table sometimes.
That's right. Flagging them down takes 15 minutes, man.
When they're gone, they're gone. That's the thing. Okay, so
So anyway,
how-
Wednesday dining.
yeah, let's go
Wednesday
back to that.
dining.
How
It's
do
definitely,
listeners? Yeah,
or I was just going to quickly mention that, it's also even a great way to be easier on the wallet. Now that we were talking all that, and we want
Oh,
easier on the
yes.
wallet, it is definitely another day because they do those theme nights. So there's always those promotions where it's like discounted maybe bottles of wine or 2-for-1 appetizers, kids eat for free nights. It's that type of thing where the businesses are just trying to gain more traction on the Wednesdays. So you do tend to save a little bit on those days.
Mhm.
So it's a great way to even watch your budget. If it's something that you want to try dining out, but you want to still stay within your budget, that's a great day to do it. And then if listeners, if they want the best spots or they want deals, how do they find out about it?
Yeah.
I mean, the best thing you can do is check your local eateries' social media or their websites, because they usually post their weekly specials there. Honestly, my advice, try spots that you've been curious about, that you've been wanting to go to, that have always been booked on the weekends. So try those spots on the Wednesdays.
Okay.
Yeah.
And go early.
I mean, now that it's a thing,
You'll find
like
me
now
there.
that we, we'll find you there for sure. If we make it in that hour that you're there.
Just an hour.
Yeah,
That's it.
just the hour from
It would
5
be
to
a
6,
high
right?
invite thing.
Yeah, 5 to 6. If it's 6:01, I'm gone.
Wow.
5:45, Frank might be gone. He's still catch Mary.
Frank's like, okay, no, take your time, but seriously, hurry up.
Really quickly, Mary, how can listeners find the best spots or deals? Where can we find them?
Just honestly, take a look at their social media accounts, their websites. They usually post everything there. Talk to friends. Even talk to friends. Because usually someone hears about something and they'll share it. Wednesdays are a new up and coming. So it's a lot of word of mouth as well, which is great. So test it out.
Yeah. So businesses are kind of learning about this aspect too, right? Like you talked about the Wednesday happy hours or Wednesday specials. But if they don't have one yet, they're probably still getting on the trend, hopping on the trend.
I mean, I remember years ago that they tried this. A lot of establishments did the Wednesdays, and they would do these theme nights to build up. Yeah. And then it kind of went away. And when I say years ago, well, I'm only 20, 21.
Sure.
We'll use that number. But years ago, seriously, they really did do this. And it kind of went away. And the Thursday, Friday, Saturday became the whole hype, but it's definitely coming back into effect.
Also, Thursdays aren't new either, eh?
No.
I really thought I was on a...
Did you not notice it being busy all the time?
It is busy, but I thought that was the new norm. I'm sure that if I go on a Wednesday now, I'm going to be shocked at how not busy it is.
You will be.
Yeah, just wait a month.
You will be, definitely.
Just wait a month.
Just wait a month. Oh, yeah, exactly. But you know what?
Come a month to revisit this.
If they're gonna do, if they're gonna do like Wednesday specials and Wednesday happy hours, they better push the times up as well. Because right now, happy hour at Añejo at Shops at Don Mills is at 5 p.m. for their tacos and their drinks. And I'm like, that's too late.
Earlier?
Like, I want it like 4, 3 p.m. happy hour. I know, but I'm just saying, if I'm gonna try the Wednesday out and slip a little earlier, it's got to be an earlier happy hour. Because by 5 p.m., I'm like, I'm out.
You're going directly there.
Directly.
Yeah.
Can't help but laugh. I thought 5 was early. You're beating me. It's a 4:30.
5 is 4:30. Yeah, 4:30 to 5:30. It's a sweet spot.
As you guys are leaving, I'm going to be sliding down there. Even though 6 o'clock,
you can make it for the 7:30 happy hour, apparently.
Actually, 7:30, I'd probably already be in my PJs.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You guys sound like a lot of fun.
I'm a good time. I am. I promise.
Just catch her in the hour.
That's it. Oh, the small window of opportunity there.
Got to leave him wanting more, Mary.
Yep.
Always.
Well, thank you so much, Mary. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you both.
And we'll catch up with you next week.
On Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Yep.
Too bad it's Thursday. I would have done it today if it was Wednesday. Next week.
Definitely. Give it a try.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mary.
Thank you.
For more of Mary's recipes and tips, go to mammoliti.com or Kitchen Confession on Instagram and TikTok.
It's always a fun time with Mary. She's got lots of interesting things that she brings to the table. Last week, you guys were talking about grilling, I think, like making the best out of your grill. And then the week before that, picnics and how to do a picnic, right? Did you get your picnic basket, by the way, yet?
Not yet, but it's out. It's ready.
It's out.
There was just no time.
Sitting in a corner.
But when we started talking about grilling last week, it was that's the trend in my family's house. So we've been loving it.
Yep. Oh, so can't wait for the invitation. Bye, Nazi.
Bye.
On tomorrow's show, the Friday edition of Kelly and Company, we are going to be meeting multidisciplinary artist Kathy M. Austin from the National Access Arts Center, and we're going to hear a little bit of her upcoming release, a track called Blindsville. Plus, we're skipping back down memory lane and chatting with two broadcasters from AMI who were here from the volunteer days, the trailer days, into the live programming era, and are still sticking around with us. That's Corinne Van Duzen and Mike Ross. All of that tomorrow, Friday the 13th, on Kelly and Company.
Thanks for tuning in to Kelly and Company. Follow us on all social media, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more.